Howdy, folks, and welcome back for another deep dive. We love talking photography around these parts, and today we're going to dig into something that's near and dear to my heart. Getting our youngins into taking pictures.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I sure do love seeing the world through my kids' eyes, and I reckon there ain't nothing better than having them little snapshots to remember those precious moments.
Absolutely.
But let's be honest here, folks. Those fancy cameras with all the bells and whistles can cost a pretty penny. And when you're talking about putting one in the hands of a youngster, well, you might be a little hesitant to hand over something that costs as much as a month's worth of groceries.
You ain't just whistling Dixie there.
So today we're going to take a good look at a camera that's designed to get kids excited about photography without breaking the bank. The Vivitar Instaprint digital camera.
That's the one.
We've been doing our homework, folks, reading up on reviews and seeing what other parents are saying about this little gadget. And we're going to share all those nuggets of wisdom with y'all today.
That's right. We're going to lay it all out on the table, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Our mission today is simple, folks. We want to figure out if this Vivitar Instaprint is the real deal. Is it a good way to introduce our youngsters to the magic of photography without spending a king's ransom?
And we're going to have some fun along the way, too, right?
You betcha.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is this Vivitar Instaprint thingamajig?
Well, it's a little digital camera that's small enough for even tiny hands to hold. But here's the kicker. It prints pictures right then and there, just like those old Polaroid cameras some of us might remember.
Oh, now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
I remember having one of those Polaroids when I was a kid. That instant gratification was something else.
Right. You snap the picture and boom, you got a photo in your hand. And that's what this Vivitar Instaprint is all about.
So tell me more about this instant printing. How does it work?
It uses this special thermal paper, and it whips out those black and white prints in just a few seconds.
Sounds like magic.
It kind of is. And from what we've seen, folks are really loving that instant print feature. They say it's perfect for kids because they get to see their pictures right away. No waiting around for developing or printing.
I bet that keeps them entertained for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned black and white, so these prints aren't in color.
That's right. They're black and white. And another thing to keep in mind is the print quality. It ain't going to be as sharp and detailed as what you'd get from a fancy photo printer. Some folks have even said the prints look a little like receipt paper.
Okay, so maybe not something you'd frame and hang on the wall, but I reckon it's still pretty darn cool for kids to have those instant prints, right?
Absolutely. And think about it. They can use those prints for all sorts of things. Scrapbooks, little gifts, or just sticking them on the fridge.
I can already picture my little ones running around, snapping pictures of everything in sight. Now, hold on a minute. You keep calling it the digital camera, but so far all we've talked about is these instant prints. So what's the digital part all about?
Well, this little camera is a 2-for-1 deal. It's got that instant printing feature, but it also takes regular digital photos with a 12-megapixel sensor.
So you get the best of both worlds.
Exactly. You get the instant fun of a physical print, and you also have a digital copy of the picture that you can save, share online, or print out later if you want.
Now that's thinking ahead. And what about storage space? Does this thing hold a lot of pictures?
It does have some internal storage, but it also has a slot for a micro SD card, so you can add more space if you need it. Some bundles even come with a 32 GB card, which is a pretty good amount.
Now that's what I call value. And speaking of value, what about video? Can this thingamajig record movies too?
Yes, sir. It can record videos, although the resolution might not be as high as what you'd get on a smartphone or a dedicated video camera.
So it's a jack of all trades. This little camera does a lot.
It sure does.
Now let's talk about the most important thing, ease of use. How user-friendly is this Vivitar Instaprint for our little ones?
Well, that's one of the things folks are raving about. They say it's incredibly easy to use even for kids who've never held a camera before. It's got a simple point-and-shoot interface and a big, bright screen on the back so they can see what they're doing.
So no need to fumble around with a bunch of complicated settings.
Nope, it's designed to be as straightforward as possible. And another thing that's great for kids, it has 2 cameras, one on the front and one on the back.
Oh, so they can take selfies.
You betcha. And the reviews say the selfie quality is actually pretty good for a camera in this price range.
All right, so it's easy to use, takes selfies, and prints pictures instantly. What about durability? Is the thing going to survive a drop or two?
Most folks seem to agree that it's pretty durable for a kid's camera. It's made mostly of plastic, but it's got a good solid feel to it. And a lot of the bundles come with a wrist strap so they can keep a good grip on it.
That's a smart idea. And another thing I like is that it doesn't require Wi-Fi to work.
Right. No need to mess around with connecting to the internet or anything like that. Just point, shoot, and print.
That's what I call keeping it simple. Now let's talk turkey. How much is this little wonder gonna set us back?
This is the best part. It's incredibly affordable. You can usually find it for between $40 and $70.
Now that's a price I can get behind. And where can folks find this Vivitar Instaprint if they're interested in picking one up?
It's pretty widely available. You can find it at most big box stores like Walmart and Target, as well as online retailers like Amazon and eBay.
So no need to go on a wild goose chase to find one. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here. We know it's easy to use, durable, and affordable. But are there any downsides we should be aware of?
Well, like we mentioned earlier, the print quality isn't going to be as good as what you'd get from a professional photo printer, and the digital photos, while decent for everyday use, aren't going to blow you away with their resolution.
So it's a trade-off. You're getting affordability and instant gratification, but you're not getting top-of-the-line image quality.
That's a good way to put it.
And I reckon that's perfectly fine for a camera that's aimed at kids.
I agree. Most parents aren't looking for professional-grade photos from their kids' camera. They just want something fun and easy to use that will capture those precious moments.
And I think this Vivitar Instaprint fits the bill perfectly.
I think so too.
So to wrap things up, why do we think this little camera might be the perfect gateway drug? Gateway camera to get our kids hooked on photography?
Well, for starters, it's just plain fun. The Instant Print feature is a real game changer for kids. They get so excited to see their pictures pop out right away. It's like magic.
And there's something special about holding a physical photo in your hand. It's a tangible memory that they can keep and cherish.
Exactly. And this camera encourages kids to be creative and experiment with photography without the pressure of getting the perfect shot. It's all about having fun and capturing those everyday moments.
Let's not forget about the affordability factor.
Yeah.
This camera is a great way to introduce kids to photography without breaking the bank.
It's a win-win situation.
So if you're looking for a way to spark your child's creativity and get them excited about photography, I highly recommend checking out the Vivitar Instaprint digital camera.
It's a great little camera that's sure to bring a lot of joy to your family.
Now, before we sign off, I want to leave y'all with a thought. Imagine handing your child this camera and watching them explore the world through a lens for the very first time. What kind of pictures do you think they'd take? What stories would they tell through those simple black and white prints?
That's a beautiful thought.
It just warms my heart thinking about it. Well, folks, that's all for today's deep dive. We hope y'all enjoyed it. And until next time, happy snapping.
Take care, y'all.
And y'all stay safe out there.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
See ya.